uh, waiting to go live, and we've gone live. It's really fantastic. Something I've been looking forward to. Today is our first ever guest show on the Calling with Neil. I'm just going to call our technical director. Don't be surprised if you see him. Um, Pizzo. Yeah, that's his name. I forget his name. Pizzo. Yeah. Will you come and help me with something here, real quick? We are live, and our audience know that sometimes we need to call in our technical director. So, guys, this is Peter, just to introduce you, and he's the magician that helps us produce really awesome shows. Peter, I need an intro. That opening banner that we normally play, just so that our listeners. All right, sweet, 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 sweet. And of course, I'm not sitting by myself, but I'd like to welcome our audiences, our listeners, for joining us today. And today's show is really special. Number one, it's the first time we're having a guest. So, so thank you very much. And yeah, all right, not a problem. So our technical director is like, nah, just go ahead, do your thing. But for those who do not know, this is the Calling with Neo. It's a spiritual show, and we touch on various aspects around spirituality, and we bring in different guests coming from different spiritual ideologies, right? And we are basically hoping that through this show you'll help it will help you to be able to answer some questions that you've always had. And today's show, what is special about it for me, I find that whether you are an avid follower of spirituality, or you're on that journey or not, we all from time to time ask ourselves about the weird dreams that we have. Okay, so I'm very excited about today's show because we've got a special guest that is actually going to help us understand some of these dreams and understand the dreamscape all in all. So today's show is titled, as you can see on the screen over there, today's show is titled Understanding and Interpreting the Dreamscapes, or Interpreting Our Dreams for that matter. And I am joined by Nkulu Zola, right? Now, so we agreed that we would not use his spiritual name simply because the clicks in there are hectic. But Mkulu Qinitong, right? Am I correct?
Almost got to go to new talk.
Oh, Qinitong.
Exactly.
Did I say it correctly?
100%.
Thank you so much. So just to basically tell our listeners a little bit about you, but I generally like when a guest basically you know what I'm saying? Because just now this information that I googled about you might not be so accurate, but for those of you who've just joined us with our guest Uzola Xashimba, known by the spiritual name of Klinitong. Um, Inyanga, and the shaman of the Ndiki, Ndau, and Kamanku healing traditions of Southern Africa. So obviously he's gone through the relevant training and initiation to basically have the right to end this title, you know. And we have him in studio today so that at least we can start unraveling some of those dreams that you've struggled with. I mean, people dream some of the weirdest things. But before we get into that, Mkulu, I'd love to give you an opportunity to just, introduce yourself to our listeners today.
Najab, bless my brother. We give thanks, give thanks. We greet all the listeners back at home, just tuning in. Thank you for joining us for this show. Well, I'm a medicine man, and young. You know, um, I work a lot with herbs,
Mhm.
taking people through counseling, um, giving people courses and education into herbalism, detox sciences. So on one side I teach and lecture, on the other side I do a lot of therapies for people using herbs and counseling. We also do different things like ceremonies. We take people out for retreats.
Yeah.
connect with their ancestors, reconnect with their dreams, with the forces they create with them. They created them, you know. So we do a variety of different things, but mainly, you know, I'm just man, you know, who's called to come to this world by his ancestors, which is an honor and a blessing.
Mm, mm. Look, one thing that I've had a lot about people like yourselves is that you are called upon not because your life is perfect, but you're called upon because you yourself are undergoing some kind of a need for growth and for healing. Is that always a fact?
It's always a fact. It's always a fact because to be born means there's work to be done.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, the calling is different for everyone. Everyone's got a calling. You know, it doesn't mean that everyone's going to end up a healer in their calling.
Yeah.
However, and everyone fulfilling their life's work and their life's calling, whether it's be a doctor, scientist, teacher, police officer,
Mm.
whatever, you do bring a level of healing into the world. You
No.
know, because what the world is void of is enough people who are authentically themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's filled with people that are tending to be something else, which is a wound
Yeah.
that keeps from one generation to another of disconnection.
Okay.
So, um, for me, how it ended up turning out was this way: that I'd be a medicine man, I'd be a teacher, and it's gone that direction. For others, it goes different ways, but there's always a need, and
Yeah.
that's why I say most of us, we just normal people. All of us are just normal people. We just called to do a specific type of career
Yeah.
and bring a specific type of understanding and knowledge because we're born with a skill set that's perfect to fit into
Mm.
that career.
No, thank you. Thank you for that, Zola. I really, really appreciate, I take a lot of similarities from what you're saying to my journey, my own personal journey in Yokwasa, ending up being Kanyamba, and still coming out confused.
It's okay. These things take time. Like, you know how confusing because no one's got one gift.
Yeah.
You know, and not all our gifts have to be spiritual in nature.
Hmm.
You know, some of them are just talents, like being able to speak, you know, looking good,
Yeah.
you know, being confident,
Yeah. Huh?
you know, having self-trust within
Mm,
yourself,
mm.
being able to trust. Those are all gifts, basic things that we don't see. And like over time, all these different gifts that we have, they blend.
Yeah.
The more we express ourselves as we are, the more they blend and it becomes clearer what we are, who we are, what we're here to do. And it becomes less about in how it's supposed to look, but more
Yeah.
about how I am, how
How
it
do you
is.
express it? How authentic can you be in your gift?
100%.
So to get into today's topic, we are all very excited, and like I said, today it's about understanding and interpreting our dreams, and all of us, in fact, are familiar with dreaming, and half of the time, some of us are left really baffled, but I find it a topic of dreams coming up a lot with people saying that I've got a calling because I've dreamt one, two, three, right? So, and obviously, I would not like to, isolate our discussion around dreams only to somebody being called epiphany. But I want us to be as broad as possible today, about that. But the one thing that I was, questioning and wondering is kuzothiwa, somebody will say, I have a calling. I saw it in my dreams. Ngibona abogogo bangibiza, or I dreamt of Amapai
Mm.
like this, or I dreamt of my forefathers, or I saw myself underwater, you know, um, throwing in trolo, you know, um, and so forth. But is that always the case? Is it always the case that the typical dreams are I was underwater, you know, I saw Mabai,
So I'd say like firstly with all dreams you have to look at them within their context.
mm,
Firstly. So with when you're looking at a dream, get all the information and look at the information in relation to other pieces of the information. Now, there's all those like common dreams that people follow,
yeah,
like Isamabai, Pupa Basamanzini,
yeah,
you know, on the mountain, Kulu,
yeah,
people that are dressed as either prayer people or sangomas, you know, and they're going somewhere in some natural space to go do something, whether it's to do njengokusho, amathambo,
yeah,
so they're going for a reading, or sometimes they're going to go get medicine,
mm,
or
mm,
even medicine as a going through a treatment, different
mm,
things.
mm, mm,
Now, It's not always that because you're dreaming that that means you must go and twasa.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to get to the bottom of, you know?
Why I say this is because in this, what people never understood about the dreamscape is that it's when you go into sleep and then you go into the dreamscape,
Yeah.
what you're simply
As in
doing,
like landscape, now you're in the dreamscape.
and it is a landscape. I love the fact that you say it's a landscape. It is a landscape.
Yeah.
It's just in a landscape where your body is not anchored. Your physical body is your anchor into this time space reality
All
here we
right.
call Earth. All of us that are here on this Earth right now, and this universe with its multiverses and cosmos,
Yeah.
all of us that are experiencing this, we only can experience it the way we experience because our body is our anchor that holds us in this
All
reality.
right.
However, our consciousness, it is broad, it expands beyond just this time space reality into multiple other dimensions.
Would you then say that our bodies, they can also act as a limitation to the things that we could possibly be able to access and see?
So I'd say yes and no.
Mm.
Yes, can be a limit, and I'd say no because you're in control of how far you develop the body and
All right.
what parts of it you unlock the its latent abilities. You
Yeah.
can only develop something that you actually participating in
Yeah.
actually developing. Things don't just develop themselves.
All right.
So
All right. So you need to be active
you
in
need to
it.
be active. You need to engage the senses. You need to engage the reality, the one reality, where it's not about my truth or your truth or
Hmm.
truth, for example, that we're all alive.
All right.
It's
Now, going back to dreamscapes, I mean,
Mhm.
I just jumped in there because, something else comes into mind is like, is the mission really for me to have a full-on spiritual experience? Is it all in the dreamscape?
So I'll say this: it's not even about having a full-on spiritual experience. We've relegated things to like so everything that's beyond the regular range of perception, our waking reality
Yeah.
perception, what's regular for everyone,
Yeah.
gets put either into the range of madness or
Yeah.
into the range of spirituality. But what we are not taking into consideration is that neither madness nor is it spirituality. That person just has the range to perceive. Let me just give you an example.
Yeah.
Many people around the country,
Yeah.
and around the world, will have a loved one pass away.
Yeah.
And that loved one who's passed away will come and give them information, even about certain things. That go look there in such and such a place and you'll find such and such a thing. And they go there and they find that they had no prior knowledge before this dream happened with this person that their past loved one came and told them to go look for that thing there.
All right.
So that should tell us then that this person is not making it up, that they engaged the spirit of the deceased one
Yeah.
because they were able to come back with information which is true and factual, and there is an actual proof
Yeah.
is that this person was told, no, in my pillow, there's a Krugerrand. Go look there, you'll find it.
Yeah.
I left
Yeah.
it there for you, and I knew I'll tell you when I pass away. For example.
Yeah.
Now that tells you that that person is not crazy, not mad,
Yeah.
not spiritual. They just have range of perception. It's like the difference between a person that's partially blind, completely blind, a person that can see, and a person that can see really well.
Okay.
It's about obstruction in the eye.
So now then that brings me to my next thought now is every dream significant? Like is every dream a message?
Every dream is a message,
I mean, some of the stuff that we dream is really weird. You wake up and you're like, okay, what message am I supposed to extract out of this? And literally sometimes it just doesn't make sense. So it's like, which dream should I be concerned about and should I be trying to dig deep into? And what is just a figment of just something I was watching on TV and now I'm having nightmares because I was watching a horror movie.
So again, everything that you dream is information back to you.
All right.
Um, so someone says, no, I was watching this before I went to sleep. It was a horror movie. Now I was dreaming horrors.
Yeah.
The question is, why are you watching horrors in the first place? What's wrong? Let's start there. And even the choice in your horror movies is telling us there's a condition, because people have certain types of horror movies, like people who like Saw,
Yeah.
they obviously like seeing people being trapped, and not being able to like get out of the problem. So in what ways do you feel trapped and like you can't get out of the situation? Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh,
So
snap.
everything that's happening is a messaging system. We can't blame the movie. We have
Yeah.
to look at the context of why was I watching that? Why is that now appearing in my dreams? And also, it's not going to be like that's what happened in the movie. It will
Yeah.
always be brought down to the context of you in relation to the characters in the movie, what's happening in the scene.
Mm.
Which part is important? Where are you? Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
What are you guys doing? What are you wearing? What are they wearing? What age does it? Is it in the future? Is it the past? Is it the present?
I was just about to get into that. It's like, are my dreams telling me about my future? Are my dreams telling me about my past? Are my dreams telling me about my present?
It's all, and that's one never just that they tell me about. It's in the moment. Where are you and what is happening?
Yeah.
Because again, if you're gonna say, "Oh, it's in the past," how far back in the past? Oh, it's in the future. How far into the future? Because
Yeah.
beyond the past, say it's in the past, that means beyond this lifetime. I could be dreaming my ancestors' lives when that they were living. I'm just saying because again, you're in their body. This
Yeah.
body that we're in is theirs, and within our DNA is all their memories. The body is the ancestor on this plane called Earth. It's the oldest one. It just
Yeah.
keeps getting new souls in each generation, new souls coming to, but the flesh stays here.
But
It's an ancient.
factually, fact of the matter is that in you currently is, a composition of blood,
Exactly.
uh, from so many other
Exactly.
individuals that were there before you.
From far, far back, far, far, hundreds, thousands of years, far back.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, we made up of Earth. So how long has the Earth been here?
Yeah.
And what is it seen as the ancestor? Before it begot the body of a human. And
Wow.
then the other things, some of the dreams, why are they so broad? Is because you're trying to understand aeons and aeons of
Yeah.
symbols. So ancient civilizations use symbols,
Yeah.
to like give meaning and explain the world.
So can we then conclude that number one, you've said that every dream
Mm.
is to be taken seriously?
Taken seriously, I wouldn't say like strain yourself and make yourself like stressed about it. No,
Yeah.
but like is to be really looked at for its meaning.
Yeah.
You don't have to get deep and philosophical about it.
Yeah.
But it really, what I find, it works well if you've got a flexible mind where you're not looking at from just analyze, but
Yeah.
when you like looking at and you're comparing,
Mm, mm,
the
mm.
different experiences, weighing two options against each other and looking at all the variables and the outcomes,
Yeah.
and finding the one where you actually belong. And it's like you must play with your dreams,
All
bring them
right.
out of your mind, put yourself in there, look at the different parts of it. Some of the things like I was saying with the dream symbols, people will say, for example, that you asked earlier on, if I'm dreaming, let's say animals, certain animals,
Yeah.
I'm called maybe. No, like, for example, we all know that we've got recessive animal DNA. If we look at our Bantu
What do you
people,
mean by that? I mean, recessive
meaning,
DNA,
meaning,
animal. Yeah.
meaning, in your DNA structure,
Yeah.
you've got the DNA of all the other animals out there in the wild. It's a
Okay.
scientific fact, biological fact that we've got animal DNA in us.
All right.
Now the question is, how did that get there? If you go back to our
Yeah, I'm
Bantu
curious now
stories,
about that. It's
you
like,
know,
religiously.
now let's go beyond that, beyond the religion
Okay,
and
beyond religion, before religion.
before religion, before there was Christianity, Judaism, Islam, with the current Abrahamic narrative of
Yeah.
spirituality on the world. Back before all of these things, there was a time where the mother of creation,
Mm.
Ma, created the first people. The first people went through their whole rebellion against it. Then they all got wiped out except for one.
Yeah.
One woman, Amarava, right? And they were my children. And then I also spared a creature called a Jowney. A Jowney looks like what you'd call an orc, an ogre. You can look
Yeah.
online and see
Okay.
orc and ogre. Now, Odu was a Jowney, was a slave of one of the creatures that caused the downfall of the first people,
Yeah.
right? Now, how Zaharlal made these people, who was the leader of these Jownies, he made them from the flesh, of all the different animals that he had destroyed.
Yeah.
So he could have like a slave to take over the first people. But let's just move because we're not here.
Yeah. Let's move past that.
Let's move past that. Let's move to the point where Ma now sends Odu and Odu, the leader of the Jowney, and Amarava,
Yeah.
you know, to Africa, it starts the second people. We Bantu, black Bantu people
Yeah.
have types,
Yeah.
with our own features. Not all
Yeah.
people who are Bushmen looking.
Yeah.
We share same mother, different fathers.
Oh, okay.
Our father Odu was because he was made from Jowney. He was a Jowney. It was made from the flesh of different animals.
Mm.
Who mixed with the first, with Amaraba from the first people. We are
Yeah.
descendants of those people. And that's how, in our African cosmology, we know how we got animal DNA inside. And now this is why we'll say that, yes, an animal is your ancestor because it is. It's in your DNA. You can't deny what's already there, what's
Mm,
scientifically
mm,
provable,
mm.
biologically provable, historically provable,
Yeah.
that we had such an event.
But let's now bring it back to our dreams, right? A lot of the dreams. I mean, I grew up, or a lot of people will tell you that if you dream, there's typical interpretations that I've come across around dreams, which like would be like a commonly believed or shared idea, whereby if you dream of a wedding, it's a funeral. If you dream of it, is it always the case that
Not always the
um
case.
you,
We'd all be dead by now. We'd all be dead by now.
no, I'm just saying that the typical interpretations around dreams, are they always the case, or you know what, it differs from person to person?
So what I'll say, right?
Mm,
It's about that specific person's um cultural, tribal, socio-spiritual background,
yeah.
in his or her lineage,
All right.
because it'll determine then the type of symbols they see in their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
The ancestors coming, it has to be an ancestor, it has to be an ancestor that lived in some time period.
All right.
So let's say the ancestor lived in a time period where it was understood that dreaming of weddings,
Yeah.
means death,
Yeah. All right.
for example, right?
Yeah.
But let's say in the next generation after ancestors, that ancestor lived and passed on.
Yeah.
The next generation doesn't believe that anymore. The next generation believes that if you dream of furniture, it
Yeah.
means someone's dying. The question is, which generation is the ancestor that's informing you coming from? There could be an ancestor that comes from a generation. It means if you dream shells falling from the sky, that means death. That's all different ages, right?
Mm,
And
mm,
that's what I'm saying about it's a collection. If you look at how old,
yeah.
right, the humanity is up until this point, the range of symbols and the different meanings at each age and each generation,
Yeah.
how each generation identifies with different symbols
Yeah.
for meaning.
All right.
And that's what I'm saying. What people don't look at, it's not that dreaming of a wedding is going to be fixed as death, or it's about the age in which the generation, if I'm saying age, in which that ancestor existed, that time space reality.
All right. All right. I mean, fair enough. Now, what I'd like, I mean, some of the most confusing, or, some people have even said, I really had a disturbing dream. Leading up to this show, I mean, we've been posting it on Facebook that we're going to have discussions about the dreamscape and so forth. And, you know, there's a few that I highlighted that I wanted to bring to your attention, and perhaps you can help us with something like that. So, before I even get into that, how do I go about interpreting my dream? Can I interpret my dreams?
Yeah.
If I'm not if one is not a sangoma, it's not a traditional healer, hasn't gone through that passage or that journey, can what is the fundamental basis upon which I can use to interpret my dreams? And
So
can I?
everyone can interpret it, and the best person to interpret one's own dreams is oneself.
All right.
No one can interpret it better than you because everything in the dream, if you look at it and slow down and not panic.
Okay, so the important thing is not to panic.
Panic. Just like look at it like you're watching a movie, like how you watch a movie and you see the underlying things that are happening.
Yeah.
That's how you have to look at the dream. So you have to detach yourself first and foremost. It's very good also to keep a dream journal.
Yeah.
Because when you keep a dream journal and you keep writing your dreams down,
Yeah.
when you get to a point, let's say you get to a point where now you have a very confusing dream, where it's like, what does this dream mean? Well, look over the past few days and weeks of the dreams that you've been writing down
Yeah.
and see if there's a common narrative being built And if you read through it, you eventually see that actually this dream is actually talking about this thing that I'd forgotten, because we have so many dreams in a night. A
Yeah.
person can have 5 dreams minimum, and well over 50.
What about people that say like, I don't dream?
No, they dream. The thing is, they don't remember when they wake up, because
Okay.
dreams is one thing to be able to dream.
Yeah.
It's another thing to have good memory recollection and recall. And
Yeah.
that's the thing that's affecting most people, that people wake up, the recollection is gone. They
Mm,
can't,
mm,
they were there. They were there. They were engaged. They were like having the chats in it.
yeah.
But as soon as they wake up,
Mm,
it's
mm.
gone. But there's sometimes where they remember the dream perfect, and that's because that's very important information. They cannot afford to forget that.
Tell me something. Can how I feel about somebody, whether positive or negative, influence how I dream about them or what I see them doing?
100%. So if you hate someone, like you loathe them, obviously, even in your dreams, if you see them in your dreams, you will hate them. It's not like when you're in your dreams, the relationship is healed.
Yeah.
As soon as you see them, all your underlying emotions will come up towards them. And the thing is, right, in the dream, depending on how they're acting, so if they're acting hostile towards you,
Yeah.
you're acting the same way, that means both of you are the same. You're angry in the same way, you both hostile together. If you're the one that's upset, but this person is really being nice and trying to like really solve the situation, that means you are the one that's upset and you really take it elsewhere, but you're not giving that person enough room and space. You're not seeing that person in the light where
Yeah.
they can actually resolve this if you were to actually try and find common ground. So it's really about the dream is always going to give you the problem and the solution at the same
All
time.
right.
And it's also going to put back accountability. Dreams always put accountability back onto you, like, yeah, but you also,
Yeah.
this is how you feeling. And now look at how you, because you're feeling this way, how you react in the dream space. It's like how you someone with a shade looking scary, he's got shaded dark, he's got shadows all over him,
Yeah.
coming up to you in your dream space. You have two choices. You can either fight, you
Yeah.
can either have tea, or you can run away. you know,
I like that. I like that.
if you fight, that means even in life you like to fight.
Tell me something. Um, do our dreams influence and have an impact on our reality?
Yes, they do. Because we dream the world that we're living in into existence. And even the dreams themselves inform us on how to live in our existence.
Mm.
Like I say, sometimes you can be sit, go to sleep. Let's say tomorrow you don't know that tomorrow you're gonna get fired, or let's say let me rather make it like this. Next week you get a dream that you're gonna get fired, or you don't know that you're gonna get fired next week, and then you go to sleep. When you're there in your sleep, then a dream comes along, and then you're there with your boss, and your boss is not buying your scheme. It's just
I'm not
for a
feeling you,
simple
man.
thing, like let's say like you drop the pencil, he's just walking past you,
Yeah.
you know, and then he gets upset that the pencil, then it's like, really? Why are you getting upset at tomorrow? Then the following week, Marjo fires you for a small thing,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying your dreams inform you that it's gonna happen like this, and that's because our life is tied to the greater range, the spiritual reality.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is everywhere is heaven, everywhere is spiritual.
Mm, mm, mm.
Where else can anything be but in heaven?
So if I get a dream being fired, should I be worried?
You should be very worried. I wouldn't be too worried. It's also about like, what did you ask for? Sometimes there's no need to be worried. If you say, I hate my job, I want a better job.
Yeah.
You And then your ancestors are like, okay, cool, we've got a new job for you, but you need to quit this job. And you're like, nah, I can't quit my job. I'm depending on it for money.
Yeah.
Then they're like, dog, come on, this new job is gonna like fix everything. Just take the job. And you're like,
Yeah.
no, I didn't first like hadn't noticed,
Yeah.
then I hadn't
I mean, I first want to get a job first before I
yeah,
quit my job.
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Beyond that, they're like, no, 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 there's no time for that. We organized it and you asked for this job. You said you want something like this, that's gonna be right for you.
Yeah, but they don't say that. You just see yourself getting fired.
Exactly.
So you can interpret it that it's a message I don't know. I'm not too sure. Do I quit my job before I get fired? Or they just
That's the whole thing is right. They give you the message based because you see, we ask for things,
yeah.
and sometimes we're not really paying attention that your prayer is gonna be the thing you ask for, you're gonna get it. You will get it. But
just maybe might not be in a very comfortable way.
yeah, exactly. It's usually not. Why it's not uncomfortable? Why it's uncomfortable again is because of having to let go and trust.
All right.
That's ultimately what it's about. Even when it comes to being able to interpret your dreams and understand them, it's about being able to trust, that you have the capacity, to see what the dream is about
Yeah.
and see it for what it is, and then follow through on the correct action that needs to be taken, trusting that you've been informed. The only way you can develop the dreamscape and working with the dreamscape and being
Yeah.
informed by it, and you actually getting good information, and
Yeah.
then you can also interact
So
with the dreamscape.
at the end of the day, the dreamscape, or I can get to a point where I start using my dreams as a tool
There's so many
to
ways.
better navigate my life. Is it?
100% you can use the dreamscape can be used for many things.
Yeah.
Like in the dreamscape, you can do so many things that you can't do here.
Yeah.
In the
And I can
dreams,
fly in my dreams sometimes.
exactly, you can fly, but you can also learn.
Yeah.
You can learn a whole lot of information on so many different things because you're not bound, by,
Mm.
for example, I can learn in my dreams from, let's say, an ancestor that was around 1,000 years ago
Yeah.
on herbs,
Yeah.
right? And he'll tell me this herb's like this, like this, like this, and he'll be sitting there with the one, with probably a doctor, one who was a doctor, because in my ancestry, we've got people who are Western trained in the Western system.
Yeah.
And they'll be both sitting there telling me that this one's giving me this perspective, and this one's saying, okay, but also look at this perspective, that this thing also comes like this, it has these phytonutrients, it's talking that language, and this one's
Yeah.
talking about, I lay meat there, the meat lay systems. So it's two different language systems, two different
Mm.
ancestors. I don't have to sit in a university in a classroom to get that information. I'm
Yeah.
getting all this information in my dreams. I can sit with people, um, for example, teachers around the world
Yeah.
who are alive right now and people who have passed on,
Mm.
and ask them questions because they then might dream. So, okay, you here, let me ask you this question, and this is the thing about what I mean about everyone has then the access, to learn from the dreams. Like
Yeah.
there's so much information there. There's places, for example, on the dream side, where there's like a market or a library. You find
Yeah.
yourself in a library. You can walk inside the library and interact with the people in the library, and
Yeah.
they can give you information. But the whole thing is people working on being lucid in their dreams.
Yeah. So
You know,
I was about to get into that because I was like, okay, fine. A lot of times when we dream, we are just observers. Like I tend left, even though I don't want to go left. You wake up and you're like, but normally I can fly in my dreams. Why don't I fly away?
so
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if this dreamscape can influence my life so much, how come I don't have control
again,
of what I do in the dream and how I react?
so that's all about cultivating awareness
Yeah.
within the dream space. So lucidity in the dream space means like you're conscious, like you're awake. You're actually awake. It's like you're awake live time. It's not like you're sleeping. It's like forget even that you
So
dream
so
space.
that's a lucid dream,
Yeah,
right? It's like that state whereby, okay, I'm aware I'm dreaming.
yeah.
Are you aware that you're dreaming in a
And
lucid
in a
dream?
lucid dream, that's what makes it lucid, that you're aware that you're dreaming, right? And you can actually interact. It's not like the dream's happening to you.
Yeah.
And
So a lot of times the dreams are happening to us. It's like I'm a victim.
and the only way to start developing lucidity in one's dream
Yeah.
is for one to start having a dream practice.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's, for example, keeping a dream journal is very good because it helps with strengthening your dream recollection, right? But
All
it
right.
also helps you to be able to identify your dreamscape, what's going on.
Yeah.
Because when you wake up in the morning, you have to write down every detail. The wall was blue, and the sky was gray, and there was a tree outside.
Yeah.
And then this person was wearing this clothes of this skin tone with this type of. The more information you can write out whilst you're writing out your dreams in your dream, in
Yeah.
your dream, the more information you're teaching yourself to be able to capture.
All right.
Now, firstly, that means when you go into a dream, your mind is already at the point, because your mind is not your brain. Your
Yeah.
mind is
Yeah.
not, because that's why you can dream and go somewhere else with it.
Yeah.
Then you go somewhere, it's not in your body, your mind.
Yeah.
Right? So you're teaching your mind to be able to hold the state of being focused and aware and conscious of everything that's around it.
Yeah.
Because this information, it knows that for you, it's important,
Yeah.
and they're gonna pick up and write it. The other thing that people don't pay that can help with lucidity is looking at dream cues inside the dreams. The things that are common things that don't work in a dream. For example, trying to switch off a light
Yeah.
switch and then switching it back on. Usually in a dream, switching on and off a light switch doesn't work like how you want. You try to switch it off and the light stays on. You try to switch it on, the light doesn't go on, Look at your cell phone
Yeah.
in a dream and then try use a phone in a dream. You'll notice you can't, like, it keeps changing.
Yeah,
It
you can't
keeps
do the
changing.
things that you normally used
You
to do
don't
on your
remember.
phone. Like, however way you know it, it just doesn't work
It
that
doesn't
way.
work. You're trying to type. You're trying to, like, it's not working the way it needs to work.
Mm.
Um,
Well, here's a thought, right? So now, number one, you're saying that we can get to a point where we start using our dreams and the dreamscape as an incredible tool to
yes,
better navigate our reality and
yes,
our lives, right? And
100%.
you said dreams basically bring about messages, or you know and dreams happen to us, but when we are lucid dreaming, we can be a lot more active and a lot more conscious,
In the
right?
dreamscape.
So now that brings me to my next question. Can I change the outcomes? Like, I have a dream.
Yes,
I don't like what I saw in this dream, and I was not so active. The dream was happening to me, right? Is it possible that, I can actively, how can I actively influence that? I think
so
that's more my question.
it depends on what is it that you're trying to fix
Yeah.
again. Yes, you can. Some dreams are informing you that, like, stop this behavior. They're showing you that if you follow this behavior, like, let's say, um, you dream of yourself going out, and then you end up in a fight, and then, like, you break your phone and everything,
Mm,
and then you're upset in your dream. And you
yeah.
wake up and you're like, thank God that was just a dream.
Yeah.
I'm not hurt. My phone is still fine.
Yeah.
Ah,
Funny enough, I had a dream recently like that. It was like, "Onyamiyawa."
on one hand, we can say that dream is saying, stop this thing of going out. Because it's when you go out,
Mm,
that now you start to damage your possessions. And also, you start to damage communication with others because, it's the phone, it's breaking. Your phone is your line of
oh,
communication,
snap, snap.
and
Oh,
the going
snap.
out is affecting.
So it does not always necessarily mean, I mean, like, I like how you've just broken that down, because then a light bulb just went up in my head, right? Whereby I may dream of my phone breaking and whatnot, right? It does not necessarily mean that it's always a phone and it's gonna break. But it's,
100%.
what does a phone represent? It represents communication.
100%.
You're having either, so literally, right now the light bulb is saying to me that communication breakdown.
Yes. 100%.
You're
100%.
not communicating effectively.
100%.
Oh my gosh.
And that's why I say the symbols. You know what I mean when I say different ages, different symbols. For example, in one generation, the symbol for communication was beads. We
Yeah,
love those Zulu.
yeah,
This
yeah,
beads. Yeah, it's a phone.
yeah,
In a dream, back then, if you dreamt to snapping, like, the beads, that's a letter. That means you're breaking the communication. Now, what, breaking your phone? You're not going to dream of snapping unless your ancestor is from that age.
yeah,
So that's why I say everyone is not, the dreams must come from somewhere.
yeah.
They're not just like randomly appearing. They do have their source.
But here's a dream here. I mean, Cindy, like, shared a very
Mm,
disturbing dream. For them, it was disturbing, and also even for me, I was like, "Well, that's disturbing." But maybe because of the journey that I've traveled, I could offer a different perspective as
mm,
opposed to what it literally means. So, um, can I first find out, one is not to take dreams literal. Is it always literal?
like I say, um, dreams are literal and figurative at the same time.
Yeah,
And in some cases, they're very literal. Some people, like, can I say also, the people who have really worked on themselves, and there's some people who are just born with that talent.
yeah,
You know, People who have really worked on their dreams. When I say work on themselves, they've really worked on doing the dream work. When their dreamscape becomes very clear,
yeah,
so the ancestors don't use complicated symbols, or they understand all the symbols that the
yeah,
ancestors. When my ancestors show me this symbol, it means this. When I see
yeah.
the symbol, those people who have really done the dream work, they have very literal dreams.
Okay.
It's like, this person, this is gonna do this, and it's gonna be like that. that person's gonna do it's very clear for them.
Yeah.
For some people, no, it's still
You know,
very simple.
I promised and you're getting bored. So it's like, oh my gosh. If we Geza or Isangoma traditionally, one of the common traits of about Bamadus is that portion. Unprovoked. Yeah, sorry about that.
So that's why I say like with the dreamscapes, what are we talking about? We're talking about all the places that you're going in these dreams.
Yeah,
One time you're in the place of the ancestors, but other times you're in your own consciousness.
yeah,
Sometimes some dreamscapes fuse your own consciousness with the consciousness of the ancestors.
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes, like I say, because you have ancestry in the natural realm, you're experiencing their reality. Sometimes, like people are getting dreams from the animal kingdom, saying you're not looking after us. You guys are actually just destroying.
yeah,
Someone will see, for example, we're dreaming animals getting hunted,
yeah,
and let's say it's elephants. One person will misunderstand and be like, "No, my ancestors need an elephant," as a structuring thing. Another person that's really seeing it will understand. No, there's a problem in the animal kingdom.
yeah,
That these animals are being culled. It needs to stop.
yeah,
Some person will be dreaming waters, but will be dreaming muddy waters.
yeah,
Many people say I'm a water person. Me, my ancestry are water people, right? Then
yeah,
if you're water people, then don't be shocked when you dream of the water being dirty. It's not all about witchcraft. They're saying the waters are dirty.
yeah.
And
Literally, it's like
then,
amanzi angcolile.
on one part, it's about yes, and nature.
Yeah.
You, the people who are the custodians.
And you belong to this, so there's no way wena uzoba grand.
You're ngcolile.
Yeah, ningcolile. That's your source of life.
Exactly. They're saying to us, we must go fix the water. On the other side, it is talking about in our own soul. And our body is made up of water. We are carrying dead waters.
Yeah.
Waters that are not moving, that are still, that are now starting to breed.
Can start fermenting.
Yeah, fermenting. So nomqombothi. We brew. And he's saying that needs to be corrected.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the same attitude of not wanting to clean the river up is the same attitude of not wanting to clean up the waters in one's life. The waters in one's life, we're talking about the emotions, the senses, the ability to sense, and the information coming through those senses. Because it's flowing information. There's no tap where you can switch it on and off. It's just a flow. We're talking about those things too. And if within those senses, there's trauma,
Yeah.
there's anger, there's unresolved traumas, because of information because of things that have happened in the past or things you've done today, or things that are still to happen that you're afraid of. Because even worrying about the future can cause trauma.
Yeah.
It's not about always something in the past has to happen for the person to have trauma. The person can be looking at something in the future and is afraid.
Yeah.
And now they're traumatized.
Wow.
So
So here's another one for me, but just before I get into this, so somebody says to me, it's like, bro, I had a dream, messed up dream, and he was really feeling like crap. No, what's the dream? Like, dude, I dreamt I was being intimate with a relative, like your mother or your sister, and I was like, whoa. Obviously or she does not desire that. That's not their desire. You understand what I'm saying? And in fact, they were pretty much disgusted. What at the dream, and now it's disturbing them because that can really disturb you. And when we established just paragraphs ago where we said sometimes we are not active in our dreams. Dreams are just happening to us. And you wake up and say, but that is the most messed up thing. Why would I dream about something like that?
So again, that's also a layered one. On one part, it could be you seeing an intergenerational issue that in the family, you've seen this, for example, with hillbillies, especially with hillbillies and with communities that don't like to share their blood with other races. And
Yeah.
If there's only 10,000 of you, if you guys get to 40,000, 50,000, 500,000,
Yeah.
and you guys are all one thing, right? That means somewhere along the line, people of family were sleeping with each other, and it's been happening in the lineage for a while. So some people are seeing the issues when they're dreaming of that. They're seeing the issue that's in their lineage.
So literally, I mean, let's take it in a literal sense. Boom, there you are.
So
You
literally,
wake up from a dream and you are literally being intimate with your sister.
exactly. So again, it's in the information that in this family, there is an issue that is unresolved where a brother and a sister has slept in your specific part of because there's a family tree.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then the
So it can be
cousins,
like two
different families,
generations back or
it doesn't
three
need to be
generations back.
one generation, two generation, three, 100
So
generations.
why would they show you something like that?
Because maybe you're the one that's in the position that has to come and solve that thing. Everyone is dreaming different things. We can't all be fixing the one thing in the family.
Yeah,
Each one, someone in the family has to represent anger. Someone in the family has to represent, there's that
yeah,
always sound. Someone has to represent the kind and the kind, loving nurturer. We always know in the family there's a person that's representing that. Someone has to represent the joker. Someone has to represent the one that's always in problems and always got a mess going on, always
mm,
getting
mm,
stabbed, always
mm.
getting beaten. Someone's got to represent the healer part of the family. Someone's got to represent the driven part. Someone's going to represent ambition. Different people are representing different things in the family, and then will be given the comic issues of the family, the unresolved issues based on what they are holding for the family.
Yeah.
If you're holding anger, you're going to be given a lot of the issues that are about the family's anger, and that's what you're going to dream about because that's what your life is going to resolve. In your going along your
Mm,
life, you're
mm.
holding that energy, you're going to resolve it. If you're given the thing of caregiving, you're always going to be given things, dreams that are talking about how you can care and what's going on with this one, and this one needs nurturing, and who needs this, and that one, that answer is going to come and say, by my child, because they know you're the nurturer. You're going to go and get up and go and do
You're
something
gonna
about
do
it.
something about it.
You're the healer. You're going to dream the ones that are healers. And they're
Mm.
going to know that, okay, if with this one, we're going to teach him the science, like to heal. We're going to show him how to do this. We're going to show him all the places where we're at and the rituals that we need to be done and the rites of passage, etc., etc., etc.
Mm.
Because you're here to hold that.
All right. So here's my.
So,
Oh, sorry. Just before I interjected. Yes.
for the example, that person then who is then called, to then come and deal with that issue, they're holding the energy of incest on one level.
Hmm.
This is just one way of looking at this dream.
What's another
Another
way?
way of looking at it is that you are attached. This person is attached, completely attached, you know, to the woman in the family. And it's actually gotten to a point because you see how the way they feel
Yeah.
disgusted about the whole incest, that they feel disgusted about themselves, that they're so attached, that they're so dependent, that they can't live a normal life like other people who are not so attached. And when we say not so attached, what I mean is who have healthy boundaries with their family members, specifically the women in their families. For example,
Yeah.
that man that always wants to be under the care
Yeah.
of the
Mom.
mother or under the
Mama's
care
boy.
of his sister. There's mama's boys, there's sister's boy. Also, you must remember lots of sisters are raising their
Yeah.
brothers,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
even the uncles and fathers. Lots of our sisters are doing this,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. It's if you're
So could it come as a trauma whereby maybe you lost your sister, you lost your mom, and
100%,
you have that kind of a dream?
100%.
Then it could mean that you're having letting go issues.
Exactly, exactly. The attachment, you're still holding on to them. But the whole thing is that feeling. You have to look at the feelings the person's feeling because that's telling you in relation to the attachment, how do they feel? So if they feel disgusted, like I say, they feel disgusted at themselves that, for example, that they've lost this person was so dependent on them,
Yeah.
and this person was doing so much for them that they didn't have to learn how to do for themselves.
Yeah.
Now the feeling of disgust has more to do with themselves, that they can't do this thing and this person who was doing it for them is no longer here. So
Yeah.
that thing comes back when they say life will eventually catches
Yeah.
up with the person. Then the guilt and the regret. See, when guilt and regret meet,
Yeah.
discuss not far away. Which was nyanya, but what was I doing? But why also can't I just do such a simple thing? Everyone else can do it. It's because I langa.
You're
Allowing
not
someone
used to it.
to exactly, you're allowing someone else to do it for you, something that you're not used to. So
Mm.
now this is the thing that the person needs to work through. And that's why I say you have to look at the feelings. The
Yeah.
feelings are very important because it also gives them context to what does the
No,
dream
most
mean.
of the time, I mean, people are coming to me to, for dream interpretations. Most of the time, I don't even look at, yes, I will consider what is happening,
Mm.
but my next question to them most of the time is, how did it make you feel?
Exactly.
Then from those feelings, then I'm able to help them start breaking down
Mm.
what the message could possibly be.
100%, 100%. And that's the best place to look because ultimately that's what makes the person effective in interpreting their own dreams. The feelings, you must remember there's no feeling without a memory.
Yeah.
So if someone is feeling something, there's a memory of why they're feeling that thing. It's like how people get triggered by someone saying something, then they're all angry and upset anymore. The question is, what did you remember that when that person said or did that thing, it triggered this thing, and then a feeling came up of anger.
Mm.
And that's the very same thing. The dreams are just there to trigger us into a space, of actually understanding and knowing ourselves.
Yeah.
But like again, why people struggle so hard again, it's the emotions that they have.
Yeah.
If you've got heavy emotion, you're very upset at the situation, you're biased in your opinion about how things should have gone.
Yeah.
No, it should have gone this way. And the dream is saying, but dude, you didn't have to actually go that way. It could have also gone this way. And if it went this way, this is what can happen. If it's gone this way, this is what could have happened. But people are
Yes.
so like, they want it to be the way they want it to be. And that's where, again, it goes back to that thing I was saying earlier on. If without trust,
Yeah.
you can never actually understand your dreams because you have to trust the information that
That
you're
you're getting.
getting. And the only way you can trust it is by listening.
Mm-hmm.
Get a full picture that, okay, the whole picture is this for my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
This is my understanding, and I accept how much I understand now, and I'll trust that this is what it means.
All right. So here's my next one, right? I mean, we are saying, okay, the potential is that this is an incredible tool
Mm.
that you could use to navigate your life or,
100%.
better go through life, right? So now, can the things that I do in my reality influence how effective this tool becomes, or if at all it even becomes one of my tools, lifestyle?
100%. So, for example, you must remember the body, right, has always made up of different organs.
Yeah.
There's a nervous system, and then there's the endocrine system, right?
Yeah.
And then there's veins and arteries, and there's blood and lymph, and then all of this, if you keep balance between all these different organs,
Yeah.
then perfect. You'll be able to keep your dreams, have good memory collection, have good, strong dreams. You'll be fine. But the moment you start introducing things into your diet and into your lifestyle, which are antagonistic against your body, then you stop your body's ability to function properly. Now, people who have problems dreaming,
Yeah, like some people, like I said, some
they
people
have
say I don't dream at
they
all,
have
but you've
damaged
explained it. That
damaged nervous systems
yeah,
and damaged endocrine systems.
yeah,
So the secretions of when melatonin, which is supposed to calm you and cool you and make it easier for you to go into your dream space, and then
yeah.
gives you more range of perception in the evening. When if that doesn't secrete, you're not gonna have dreams.
All right.
It's just not gonna happen. You're gonna have problems getting to sleep. You know, and that's why I'm saying, like, the diet that a person has can calcify their pineal gland. That stops then their pineal gland secreting the melanin, which is what melatonin is made from.
Yeah,
You need the same pineal gland and pituitary gland so you can stimulate something called serotonin. It's what makes you feel alive and like
yeah,
ready to
yeah,
face the world in the morning. To stimulate things like adrenaline and ATP and endorphins,
yeah.
and epinephrine and norepinephrine, all these things that regulate your mood and your ability to perceive.
Look,
So things that are acidic,
yeah,
foods that are acidic,
yeah.
they calcify, meaning they create this mucus-like layer, which is made from fats and calciums, and
I mean, we've
mucus.
got this thing which angisaphuphi kahle kumele ngiphalaze.
Ingqondo igcwele amafinyela. And then the lungs also, because the thing is why we have to palaza
Yeah,
is because oxygen
yeah,
is a function that can only happen if your lungs are working.
yeah,
Oxygen can only function in your body
yeah,
when the lungs are working. When your lungs are not working,
yeah,
you're not going to get oxygen into the blood, which means there's not going to be enough oxygen that gets to the brain.
yeah,
Now you need to have an oxygenated brain to be able to remember your dreams, because the more oxygen there is, there's better nutrient delivery.
yeah,
The sodium potassium pumps in the brain, in the cell, work better. So all your brain cells are functioning better. There's better um, um, s- um, um, signaling between
yeah.
all the different neurons and the nervous system in your body.
Yes.
Everything is working correctly. Everything stays in its biorhythm. So when your body is full of waste and toxins, right, it your body is directing more energy to the points where different organs in your system that need the energy. It means energy is being directed from your brain and other organs which assist in you being able to recall your dreams.
Yeah.
So keeping a clean, healthy diet, or even not even doesn't have to be the 100% clean, but at least a diet which is 70% clean.
Exercise as well.
And exercise is very important because exercise oxygenates you, but it also causes for the secretion of all sorts of different hormones,
Yeah.
which are vital for you to able to recall your dreams, have a deeper sense of lucidity in your dreams.
Yeah.
You know,
So here's what I'd like to know from you. I mean, certainly this hour that we have is definitely not enough, right?
100%.
And number one, can I get in touch with you, or can our listeners get in touch with you if they'd like help interpreting their dreams? Do you offer that
100%.
service?
I do offer that service. I do offer that service. Um, So if they wanted to get a hold of me, well, they can check me out on my Facebook. They can send me an email
Yeah.
directly,
Wait,
zxashimba@gmail.com.
Z Kashimba.
Yeah, at
How
gmail.com.
do I spell Kashimba? Like, okay, I know how to spell it, but like for our listeners, baby,
So
you
it'll
know,
be ZXASHIMBA.
yeah, yeah, mhm. All right,
At gmail.com.
zkashimba@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And then,
Or they can send a WhatsApp to 067
yeah,
875
yeah.
8089.
All right, all right. We've got that. But another one, earlier on when you were introducing yourself, you said you host events and, training and so forth, where people can come and better understand, let's say in this context, people can better understand how to improve their ability to use the dreamscape, have more control at that level to be able to navigate better. So I just, do you have any events
So
coming up along
next
those lines?
next month, around this 7th up until the 10th,
Yeah,
not next month, in October, I mean.
in October.
Still in August, the days are moving fast. Fast enough. So from the 7th to the 10th of October, we're going to be running our Dreamscape program. It's a retreat that's going to be running over 4 days.
So it's a dreamscape program.
Yes, where we take people where they can come to learn how to work with their dreams. We're going to be working with different dream medicines,
Yeah,
indigenous dream medicines, which help to detoxify the body,
yeah,
get the waste out, but also heal the brain,
yes.
then enhance one's capacity to connect with their dreams. These medicines are also used ancestrally to connect with our ancestors, our guides, with the land.
And I don't have to be Umuntu Twasileyo,
No, you don't have
or
to be
who deems
because
that I've got a calling for me
no,
to actually,
you don't have to because again, every single family,
yeah,
in the before we became colonized in this way that we were,
yeah.
every single family had its dream medicine that it would use.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Whenever there was a need to actually connect with their ancestors,
Yeah.
people would work with that dream medicine if they needed to work with it, if they weren't getting their dreams clearly.
Mm.
So dream medicine is not a thing that's just for healers,
Yeah.
even though it's a thing that us healers, because it's our body of knowledge that we must study and know, especially us who are herbalists.
Yeah.
We have to know it, but it's not for us alone. It's for everyone. There's animals that are eating these same things.
Yes, yes, yes.
Beyond just human beings.
All
And
right.
yeah, I'm sure they're enjoying their dreams. So we run these programs to take people through the detox. It's a little bit of a detox. We go and we do sweat lodges with them. We do some hikes with them. We
Yeah.
connect with the land. We connect with the ancestors. We learn how to work with the dream medicines. We learn how to
Yes.
keep our dreams.
So this is a 5-day event, is it? The one that's coming up.
Three
It's
and
a
a half,
4-day
3.5 days, 3 full days and a half day.
and a half day. All right. So if somebody's interested to join you guys in October, they just need to send you an email. Or how do they
For
book
now,
their
they can
spot?
send me an email, just give me
Z
a call,
Kashimba,
zxashimba@gmail.com.
or they can send you a WhatsApp.
Send me a WhatsApp on 067
Yeah.
875 8089.
And this is totally open to anyone that is interested.
Anyone that's interested that wants to come who wants to come do the dream
So you'll send them all the details about, the cost of being part of this.
what it
Yeah.
entails, everything. Payment plans, if there's payment plan needed. Yeah, we'll just give them all the details.
Well, it looks like we are out of time. It's amazing how quickly an hour can go. Right? We didn't even play a single song. I had to play songs in this. But any last words of advice that you can give us around this issue of Amapopoe, to around the dreamscape? How can we start getting better? Summarize it for us.
I'll summarize it like this. keep your emotions healthy,
Yeah.
keep your body healthy,
Yeah.
keep your mind healthy.
All right.
That's the first step. And that's the most important step.
Yeah.
Just work on these three things, and your dreams will restore themselves. Keep a dream journal
Mm-hmm.
and keep writing as much detail as you can.
All right.
That will help you remember your dreams. And always give thanks to those who are giving you those dreams, because you can't keep getting something from someone and then you don't appreciate that someone giving you that dream. It's as if they're not there.
All
Always
right. All right. And then you said you're on Facebook, right?
I'm on Facebook. You can search for me as Zola Xashimba. I'm on Insta Zola.Xashimba.
All right, all right, all right. Now, thank you so much for coming into studio and just sharing this body of knowledge with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank
I
you
hope
so
our
much.
listeners will be able to put it to good use. But for those who want more notes or who want to learn more how to better navigate the dreamscape or use the dreamscape as a tool to navigate their own lives, whether they have a calling or not, they can get in touch with you on zkashimba@gmail.com. But if there's anything that you missed, I mean, you can always send me an email. Send the show an email. It's the calling at yourmedia.co.za. That's the calling at yourmedia.co.za. Thank
So
you.
blessed, Paul. Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us today.
Thokoza khehla, thokoza.
Togoza, Kesh.